to start this second part off on Polk Street, right on the side of this Auntie Skinner's Riverboat Club. Now, this lot right here is closed off, so I can't get a real up close and personal look at this mural, but it is a mural of the Mitty Stevens Riverboat. Again, Jefferson is a major inland port that ships off of log jammed water on the Red River, and this so it symbolizes its importance as a shipping port inland Texas. And this is another Brad Attaway mural, which you know, he has a lot of them here in East Texas, so pretty cool.
Have you took pictures of the other buildings?
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like
How you
Hayward
doing?
House?
Oh yeah, I got all that whole on Austin Street. I got all that stuff.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes, sir. All right. Doing all right today?
Oh yeah, doing great.
That's good. Yes, sir. You too. Yeah, nice gentleman. Pugler's Barber Shop. And this is Bateman's Alley right here. It's another interesting building. Has the balconies and everything. This is called Calavera Mercantile. So they sell a bunch of antiques, vintage art, pottery, home goods, all type of cool stuff. And check out the exterior of this building. Indoor art walk. They have an indoor art walk September the 5th here. They also have what looks like a car show, Wheels on the Bayou, September 19th. All the classic cars, Jeeps, 1950s, Vets, Corvettes, and Mustangs, all that good stuff's probably gonna be there. This is really cool, man. Got the flamingo, nice collection. And again, this is called the Calavera Mercantile. There's a couple more boutiques across the street over there. And right outside this restaurant, this Kit's Cornbread Sandwich and Pie Bar, you have this Betty Boop. Go to a Betty Boop out here. And a cornbread sandwich and I've never heard of a cornbread sandwich. That sounds pretty unique. Cornbread sandwich. But this is the restaurant. It's called Kit's. And apparently they have a mural right outside of here. Home of the famous cornbread sandwich and pie bar. Denton Drug Company, downtown Jefferson. Okay. Really nice. I'm gonna go down this little side street real quick to see what they have down here. You have a City Drug Company right over there. The flats of Lafayette Street. So apparently it's a bed and lunch overnight stay type spot. The Dr. A.J. Woods building, which is now occupied by what's called the Lazy Draft Horse Western. Home decor, men's, women, apparel, and accessories. So it's one of those Western stores. Sells cowboy hats, cowboy gear, all that good stuff. And the side of this building was once, in the early 1900s, occupied by the Leader Dry Goods Company, Jefferson, Texas. Okay. Now it's occupied by a Restoring Health spot. It's a coffee roasters, Port Jefferson Coffee Roasters. So they have a coffee shop right here. Love all the mom and pops that they have around here. And they have a commercial space for lease right there. Marion County Tax Office across the street. Game day, Bulldogs go fight. So I think the Jefferson local high school, I think their mascot is the Bulldogs. Some more stuff down here too. It's a lot to see. I think I was over there earlier. I didn't come this far though. They have a Catholic church right over here. Let me go check it out. It was established in 1863. The Immaculate Conception Catholic Church. I'm guessing that's the Virgin Mary right there, the sculpture of the Virgin Mary. Immaculate Conception Catholic Church. Very historic building. Again, the Catholic Church here was established in 1863. And it looks like this building is accompanied by a historical marker, which we're going to check out here. The Immaculate Conception Catholic Church began in 1863 when Father Jean Marie Girard held Mass for Catholic residents of Jefferson. Immaculate Conception grew as a church by 1867. Members completed the first building. 1869, the church opened a school, and the next year moved to the current location. The Immaculate Conception soon became a center of East Texas missions, although by 1910 it was also a mission. Under the guidance of and leadership of Reverend Monsignor Meyer and others, parishioners continued to meet and serve the community. Though a fire destroyed the church building in 1992, the parish rebuilt and today remains a spiritual center for Jefferson residents. As you can see right here, so it's definitely been a staple for the Catholic community here in Jefferson for a long time. Oh wow, they even have a nice little garden over here. This is really cool. They don't play any games. Whoever landscaped this garden, man, they did an immaculate job, no pun intended. Again, there goes the Virgin Mary sculpture, and there goes the waterfall flowing off the rock. Very nice garden. Mary, Mary, how contrary, how does your garden grow? I guess it grows like this. Wow. Nice stained glass windows too on the side of this building. This gazebo right here sits in the center of Ottstadt Park. It is the focal point of the park, and George and Michelle Ottstadt dedicated this park on September 5th, 1993 to the wonderful people of Jefferson, Texas, as a token of their love and affection for this fine community. So this park, the Ottstadt Park, serves as a public gathering place, as in an area for relaxation of enjoyment for the local residents. They also could use this spot as weddings, religious services, public celebrations, all that good stuff. So that's Ottstadt Park. So let's continue down this way. You have a U.S. Post Office building for Jefferson, Texas, right here. Wow, should have known. They have a trolley right here, as you can see across the street, used for historic tours of Jefferson. So I guess you probably have to book ahead of time to get a tour on the trolley. It's pretty cool. It's a nice Challenger right there. It's called the Jefferson Bell. And that's a bad Challenger. That Challenger I just saw, man, that thing is dope, man. And you have this fountain. You have this sculpture. It looks like it's a fountain sitting right here at this little circle in the middle of the street right here. And this looks like a little memorial, I guess a Memorial City Park. Let me see what it's called. Beth Mead Memorial City Park. Pretty cool. And this marker is for Stuart Hamblin, who was a songwriter, remembered for his many songs and hymns, including This Old House, Until Then, and It Is No Secret What God Can Do. Amen to that. Shout out to Stuart Hamblin, a local, a Marion County native, born in nearby Kellyville, Texas. Passed away in LA in 1989. But Stuart Hamblin has his roots in Marion County. And he has this, he had that marker dedicated to him right here in Jefferson. And check out these bicycles. Got the LED lights on them. That's pretty cool. And right here is where the Stern Fountain, settling in Jefferson prior to the Civil War, Jacob and Ernestine Stern became prominent leaders of the community. Their early management of the post office here and their involvement in civic and cultural activities reflected the dramatic influence of Jewish families had on the development of Jefferson. And in 1913, the Sturge children gave this fountain to the city in honor of their parents. Designed for use by people and animals, it was cast by the J.L. Mott Foundry of New York and the work of Giuseppe Moretti. It features a statue of Hebe, the Greek goddess of youth. Okay, so that's what that is. I wasn't sure, but yeah, right there in the center, that's Hebe, the Greek goddess of youth. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know if it's Hebe or Heavy. But shout out to J.L. Mott. Shout out to the Sterns for that piece of artwork. Beautiful masterpiece right there. And you have the Carnegie Library, Jefferson Carnegie Library right here. And also 5 blocks east of this site, it was the first Texas artificial gas plant. So the Jefferson Gaslight Company, chartered in 1870 for public and domestic service, used retorts, 7-foot iron drums with small necks to make illuminating gas loaded with pine knots and rich pine wood. And it heated its gas to force into the mains to use as pressure drums. So the street lights that you see right here, they are on hollow posts. Very interesting looking street lights. There were 10 candle glass globes lighted by a main on a ladder. And these gas lights gave Jefferson, the largest inland port and second largest city in Texas, the state's first gas light system. So the state's first gas light system was right here in Jefferson. So lots of history. And this building, Jefferson Public Library, was given as a gift from Andrew Carnegie back in 1907, but it was also built by local funds and grants. So this is another historical building. And on this building, as you can see, sits this sculpture of 3 girls in unison reading a book. And this was donated by the Depew family, Ray, Anna, and Mila, and Nick Yetsenko. So very nice sculpture that sits outside of the library, which is very fitting. And right across the street right there is a bed and breakfast called Green Gables. So they have a bed and breakfast over there as well. And another historic house This bungalow right there with the porch swing on it was built in 1935 and called the Chez Lafayette. This building is now for sale. As you can see right here, the for sale sign sitting on the property. Century 21, Beverly Bradley. Okay. So this is this historic house, this historic bungalow is for sale. Built in 1935. Go figure. And just as I suspected, you have to reserve a space for this trolley tour. But this trolley looks very, very nice. The Jefferson Bell. I'm just gonna peek in here real quick. It's nice, has a nice wooden seats, or you know, made out of like mahogany wood. Nice finish on the seats. And they even have a bunch of books about Jefferson. Apparently this is a haunted city as well. They have like haunted tours and stuff like that. And this is the Kennedy Manor right here. The Kennedy Manor. They have a porch swing hanging from the tree. Or not the porch swing, but they have the swing hanging from a tree. That reminds me of my grandfather, my mother's father. He had a house where they like in his backyard, the grandkids or anybody for that matter would come over his house, and he had a big backyard, just like which is typical in the South, especially Alabama. And yeah, we go and we would swing off that swing that was suspended from the tree branch. That just reminded me of my grandfather. R.I.P. to him, man. But this is the Kennedy Manor. It serves as a bed and breakfast. It's really nice. Really nice property. On the other side of Polk Street, getting ready to continue. This is the Riverport Barbecue spot. Established in 1993, Riverport Barbecue. And let's see. You have this, what looks like garage, two-door garage spot. That's for rent. But it has this old school buggy, looks like, with the Coca-Cola sign on the side. So it also has an old piano just sitting up in there. It's a Lexington Boston piano. Wow, interesting. Polk Street Antiques. Willow Tree, Jefferson. Hey.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Doing great.
Good, good. People in Texas are so nice, man. Like, I think out of all my vlogs, the people the state that I've been to the most, the state where I had got like the most people that spoke was Texas. People speak here, man. People speak. That's what I love about it here, man. I mean, you kind of get that a little bit in Kentucky and Alabama, but you definitely get it out here in Texas, man. FiNet Clinic Core Physical Therapy. Let's continue to walk down because you never know what you'll find that's interesting. Measurement of, oh, they have a museum of measurement in time. Interesting. A museum of measurement in time. Wow. So I guess they break down the science behind timekeeping. Land surveying clocks, salt and pepper shakers. Oh, interesting. Yeah, here goes some of them salt and pepper shakers right here, as a matter of fact. Very well, very well. Front porch imports. I just like, man, I like walking around just seeing the small businesses and stuff like that, the locally owned spots. This is some nice spot, nice decorations, metal decorations right here. Cactus. Front Porch Imports. It's really cool. Bigfoot Cigar Company, keeping with the theme, the Bigfoot theme associated with Jefferson. Nice garden over here. I'm digging that Jeep too. This Jeep is cool. It was nice. I think we're coming up on a gym. Let me see if I can see the sign from over here. They have this big canopy up here, but it looks like it's a gym. It's a fitness center. So I wonder if you can rent these go-karts. That'll be pretty cool if you can, man. But it's probably reserved for, like, you probably have to get somebody to drive them, like, around, like somebody. I think it's only reserved for, like, big groups of people, not necessarily for just like a random person just to go rent it and just drive around in it, due to the fact that it has all those seats. But yep, this is the Bulldog Gym, open 24/7. Wow, check that out, man. Made in the Shade Boutique. The motto, life is too short to wear boring clothes. It's a nicely designed store right there. Some nice, neat little decorations in the front. But I'm gonna keep going. Walk on the other side of Polk Street. And also wanted to get this real quick. Wanted to get this old school, what are these things called? Old school buggies or dune buggy? What are these things called, man? What are these things called, y'all? Apparently it serves as a taxi. Man. And look at the gears, man. Look at the gear shifter. Looks like it was a manual, possibly. A lot of the old school vehicles were manuals back in the day. Even the old school buggies, man. Look at the headlights and all of that stuff, man. It's a Ford. So are these the Model Ts? They might be the Model Ts. If I'm wrong, then hey, it is what it is. But I think it's a Model T. It has to be, because it looks like this is a Ford. This is like the original parts, the original grill, original headlights. It's like everything's original on this bad boy. Yeah, it has to be a Model T. Most definitely. Those are like the, if I'm not mistaken, the earliest Ford model vehicles. Apparently they have a bunch of events that take place in Jefferson, a whole bunch of places you could go chill, a bunch of lodging, museums, restaurants, all that good stuff. And this is called the Jefferson Outpost. So the Jefferson Outpost is a ice cream and fudge spot. So coffee, ice cream, it's a gift shop. Also has these Bluebell shakes, apparently. Gigi's Antiques and Collectibles. Haha. We have Texas Treasures right here. Is that John Wayne? I think that's John Wayne right there. And we know that's Uncle Sam. And that's pretty cool, man. They got the open thing lighting up. So they have the little traffic light thing. It says open and it's blinking, indicating that it's open. Yeah, man, y'all, I'm having the time of my life in this little bitty town, man. Little bitty Jefferson, bro. It's small, but it's a lot here to do, man. For a town that's like less than 2,000 permanent residents, it's a lot of stuff to do. You can tell it definitely attracts a lot of people, a lot of out-of-towners like myself. But yeah, this is the site of the First National Bank of Jefferson. So Thomas Rogers, a native of Mississippi, came to Jefferson in 1856 after serving in the Civil War, where he attained the rank of captain, and returned here in 1868 and established a mercantile business on this block. And in partnership with his son, Ben F. Rogers, he opened private banking facilities in the store in 1896. 8 years later, the private bank received a federal charter as the Rogers National Bank. And Ben opened the son, Ben, following the death of his father, opened the Rogers State Bank and Trust on another site in this block. So, yep, that's pretty much the history. Now, what's interesting is that the Rogers National Bank, during the time of the Great Depression in the 30s, they were practically unscathed. Like, that's interesting because you know, it was rare for any type of business or bank, for that matter, to walk away unscathed during the Great Depression. So shout out to the Rogers Bank for remaining sound during that tumultuous time in history. Another antique shop, Gold Leaf Antiques. Sits right here at the intersection of Lafayette and Polk. So they have a lot of antique and collectible gift shops, all type of stuff, man. Outlet stores, boutiques, you name it. It's a nice arrangement of dishes or whatever, or china, whatever you want to call it. Sasquatch Drive, if you respect the Sasquatch. Bigfoot sighting in this area. All right, y'all. That'll be some, because you imagine if I actually see a Bigfoot while I'm here in Jefferson. I don't know what my reaction would be. But it would make for good content. Black Burns outlet store for world famous syrup, jam, and jelly. Made in Jefferson since 1927. So Black Burns is coming up on its 100th year anniversary. So salute to Black Burns for their service. I mean, syrups, and they hand make all that stuff. Yeah, man, none of that store bought stuff. And they hand make theirs. All right, shout out Black Burns. Brown Rig of Jefferson Insurance Company. So an insurance company established in 1886. So they've been around for well over a century. 140 years to be exact. Yo, look at this old Coke machine, man. You see, that's what I be saying. You never know what you'll find in these small towns, man. What type of trinkets, what type of old treasures, vintage things you'll find. You'll find this old school Coca-Cola machine sitting right in front of what is presumably an antique shop. And it was 10 cents back then too. So you just, I guess you insert the coin. It came with an opener, and then you get your change at the bottom. But you really didn't need no change, really. All you needed was 2 nickels or a dime. See, they only had coin slots. They didn't even have a dollar slot. But yeah, this is Myers Antiques. Been around since 1973. So that's where that Coke machine was in front of. Myers Antiques. It's like a really cool antique shop. There goes the Nightlight Tavern over across the street. I'm getting ready to make my way down Walnut Street. Some more antique shops across the street. You got the old school Coca-Cola deep freezers right here. The shutters. All right, all right. How you doing? Yep. Yeah, really cool people, man, out here. Oh, this is a foodie tasting room. So you could come over here and do taste tests, basically. Foodie tasting room. So they have balsamics, artisan foods, essential oils, kitchen essentials, pet pantry, soapery, lemonade, coffee and tea, and a book nook. But yep, this is the front of the coffee and tea foodie tasting room. This is really cool. They even have the nice chair sitting out front. Yep, really nice. Another one of those little libraries. Take a book, leave a book, love a book, keep a book. Wow, okay. Nice. And it brings us to this food truck or food bus. It's a double-decker bus which sells ice cream and more. It's called the Red Bus Cupcakes. So they sell cupcakes, ice cream, and all that good stuff. So that's really cool. That's very interesting. I've usually see food trucks, but I've never seen a food double-decker bus. Like I said, you never know what you'll find in these small towns. And even the seats are colorful. So that's really nice. And right over here by the railroad tracks, they have this really, really big antique shop, Old Mill Antiques. So yeah. I got one more place to check out and we'll be done. We have the Yesteryear gift shop. The Yesteryear gift shop looked like it used to be housed in it's housed in what used to be a service station. That's what it looks like as far as the design of the building. So they have classic items, and it's a boutique as well. Very nice. You have the city of Jefferson public restroom, so it's a public restroom spot over there. But we're over here at the port. This is what really makes Jefferson a very vital. This is basically what makes Jefferson very vital. The railroads and the port. This was instrumental in the growth of Jefferson. The Port Jefferson History and Nature Center. So you had these buildings that face the port. So this looks like at one point in time it was a hotel, which would make sense because it sits right by the port. So if it wasn't a hotel, it was probably like some type of mercantile store or something along those lines. But it now services as a Cypress Valley Education Center. And the courtyard right there. And again, you're starting to hear those creatures that you'll typically hear when you're in an area by water. And check out that sculpture of the deer. Looks like it's looking up at the sky, being one with nature. And I want to get this sculpture over here as well. They have a garden right here, so let me walk around that. There goes the bear and its cubs. The one standing up right there. It's a really nice sculpture of a bear and its cubs, again representing the nature aspect of the park. Okay. So this is the lagoon, the Jefferson Turn Basin. Wide, deep lagoon in Cypress Bayou used for turning around ships in Gulf Red River trade. The first steamer to reach here was the Llama in 1844 by way of the Red River, which for 200 miles above Shreveport was clogged by a raft of debris that had begun forming around 1529. Jeez. Cypress Bayou thus was best travel route into Oklahoma, western Arkansas, and North Texas. Until federal government in 1873 removed the raft, Jefferson was Southwest's greatest inland port, with this basin its business center. Last steamer operated here in 1903. So yeah, so much of the latter part of the 19th century up until the early 20th century, 3 years into the 20th century, Jefferson was a vital shipping port due to its location on the bayou of the Red River. Wow, look at this elephant right here. That's pretty cool. Let's go to the elephant. And there goes what looks like a railroad bridge that's covered up with a bunch of vegetation. Wow. But y'all hear those creatures though, right? Sound like crickets. Even in the daytime, but that's just the bayou for you. In 1897, the Howe train trestle. In the mid-1800s, Jefferson was regarded as a steamboat entry port into Texas. And when the Army Corps of Engineers cleared the Red River raft, the water level near Jefferson fell and steamboats could no longer reach the town year-round. And in 1873, Jefferson was first connected to the National Rail Network through the Texas and Pacific Railway. And in the 1890s, the Sherman, Shreveport, and Southern Railway built tracks east from Jefferson to the Texas-Louisiana state line. And this railway was later acquired by the Missouri, Kansas, and Texas system. So the first bridge over Big Cypress Bayou was a wooden trestle. In 1907, an iron bridge built in 1897 by the Phoenix Bridge Company of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania was installed here. This bridge allowed for commercial and private trains to cross high above the water. American architect and bridge builder William Howe patented the Howe Truss Built Bridge in 1849. A truss bridge is a load-bearing structure of connected elements, usually forming triangular units. Truss bridges are representative of common bridge types in the late 19th and early 20th century. Howe's design is composed of diagonal structure beams that slope toward the center in compression with the vertical web members in tension. The bridge was decommissioned in 1992 when a newer bridge was built to the east. The Kansas City Southern Railway Company, which then owned the bridge, donated it to Marion County. And as one of the last remaining iron truss bridges, Howe truss bridges in the U.S. accessible for public view, it no longer is being used but stands as a backdrop for the Port Jefferson and History and Nature Center. So that's good. That's good that they didn't demolish it, because it does serve as part of history, even though it's no longer in use and covered in vegetation. And again, you know, because the waters were so high in the bayou, they had to elevate. So Howe had a really innovative and genuine system, an effective system for building bridges. Because again, that bayou water, because it was so high, they had to build it in this fashion. So yeah, Jefferson and its vitality to the trade. And let's go down to the water, shall we? And that is where we'll end things. Yep, there goes the truss bridge right there. The elevated railroad bridge. And there goes the water. There goes the bayou. This is where all the shipping and trading took place, right around this area. Again, Jefferson, the most vital inland port during that time for shipping here in Texas. So yeah, makes for a really cool backdrop, huh? But with that in mind, good people, this concludes this vlog here in historic Jefferson, Texas. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun exploring with your boy P9. Thanks to everybody who made it this far and checked out this second vlog. If you made it this far, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. And once you hit the subscribe button, make sure you select all. That way you get every notification that I get every time, or that goes out when I drop a new vlog. Man, I got a little tired there, but but yeah, with that in mind, good people, thanks again for tuning in. See you guys on the next one. Peace.